Hi my loves, how's it going? How you guys doing? Welcome if you're new, welcome back if you've seen me before. I sound absolutely horrible, but I really want to get this video up. Just because I want to get some stuff wrapped up quite nicely as we've just walked into 2026. Again, I'm sick. I'm not really surprised considering how awful my immune system is. Literally does feel like the immune system of a Victorian child. You know the memes that have been going around TikTok and other places. If I can find it, I'll have it somewhere here. But I really want to go over my December empties. It's not that much, but it's a lot of like small stuff and it still takes up a lot of space. So if you guys are interested in empties, please make sure you like, subscribe. Check me out on my other social medias. Everything is linked in my description box below, and let's get right into the video. So here's my basket as always. It's a decent sized basket and I have a lot of like smaller sized products this time around. I really did struggle with a lot of things, but then I also decided to use up a lot of my mini products. As always, I use up a pack of these wipes. These are from Aldi. I think they cost me like 45, maybe 50p. Since I sort of last like picked these up, I've now stopped buying these and I'm going to just go ahead and use baby wipes because you get a lot more in a packet. And I mean, these are not that bad. There's like 25 in one. They are pretty soft. They do a decent job when it comes to removing my makeup, or at least if I've used the back of my hand to do makeup, or like I need to clean up products. Like it does a good job of cleaning it. But baby wipes do pretty much the same thing, so I've just like moved over to that instead. But this is now the last of the packets I had, and I think this one ended up actually being the oldest one that I'd maybe mixed up because I'd like to use up my old stuff first, and I do kind of try and keep it in that sort of order. But I think I somehow managed to mix this one up, and by the time I got around to this, it was feeling a bit dry, so I knew like I'd made an error somewhere. But I'm glad that I was able to still go for and use all of these up. I used up 2 sheet masks, so I used the ByMehshake Biocollagen Real Deep Mask, and I think I did this incorrectly because when I put it on my face, my skin just felt really dry, and I think what I needed to have done was put this on top when my skin was wet, or at least I'd put on a bit of toner. I'm gonna buy this one again, obviously not right now because I'm not really looking to do any sort of like skincare shops, or just I'm just trying to avoid shopping at the moment completely, so I won't be picking this up anytime soon. But when I next do my skincare order, which might be towards the end of the year, again around like Black Friday, maybe like basically November, December, I might pick this one up again. And I also used up this one, and this is from Round Labs, and I'm not gonna lie, I actually really like this one. I don't typically use a lot of sheet masks, but sometimes I feel like if I truly want myself to like relax and slow down, I actually need to use these because it will force me to like stop what I'm doing and just sit down. And sometimes I like to just lay, not do anything, not read, not be on my phone, anything at all, and just like sit with the thoughts. I say sit with my thoughts, and most of the times it's just like air going from my head. But yeah, I actually really like this one, so I'll be picking up both of these when I next can. I use up these 2 little like samples. I got this Road Glazing Milk, I think from Sephora a while ago. I don't even know what I ordered from Sephora, but I got this from there. And then I got this Mixune Bean sunscreen little sample thing from my Yes Styles order that I did earlier on, well, sort of towards the end of the 2025 as well, like around Black Friday. And this is one of the free samples that I got, and I'm not gonna lie, I actually really like this. I would consider buying the full size of this product. Obviously not right now because I do not need this. It says here it's a Bean Sun Serum. I just assumed this was SPF, so I used it as an SPF, so I used it after my moisturizer, which I don't know if that's how you're supposed to use it, but that's what I did. But I liked some of the products I've tried from Mixune, so I think I'll definitely look into maybe picking this one up again in the future. I also use up this nail polish remover. This is the one from Sally Hansen. This is the moisturizing polish remover, and this does have like acetone in it. I've had this for so many years, like so many years, and I've only just now gone through it. I have stopped painting my nails as much as I used to. I definitely used to paint them a lot more, and I think I used to have them painted all the time, but like now it's been a long time since I've actually painted them. And this is a nail polish I've had back in like, I want to say around 2014, maybe even before then, and I pulled this out the other day to paint my nails, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm really digging the color. It looks different in person than in camera, but yeah, I don't really paint my nails as much as I used to. That's why I don't really go through nail polish as much, or even like nail polish remover. But I've had this for so many years, I'm kind of glad I was able to use this one up. But I don't actually really like this one. I'm currently using one that is acetone free, and that's one that my mum had previously, and there wasn't really much in it, but I hate that. And ever since I've used them, my fingertips have felt really weird with it as well. So I am gonna be picking up another like nail polish remover, but I don't need to do that anytime soon just because how little I realistically paint my nails. But yeah, I'm kind of sad, but I'm happy that I was able to finally get this done. For my skincare, one of the first products I used that was this Boots moisturizing cream. This is actually a very cheap cream from Boots. This is just what the packaging looks like. And I'm not gonna lie, I don't even know if you saw that, but that's what it looks like. I actually really enjoy this moisturizer. I would definitely be considering picking this up. I bought so many from Yes Styles recently. My discount code is down below, if anyone's interested. But I bought so many from Yes Styles at the moment, and I do really love Korean skincare because it's just so hydrating, and my skin has like a noticeable difference whenever I use Korean skincare compared to other skincare. But this was a good easy moisturizer to have on hand, especially when the weather was a little bit warmer, because my skin gets really oily in the summertime. But this one, it was like a nice one to use. I would still prefer to use like a gel moisturizer if I could, because I feel like that's a little bit less hydrating. But this one, whether I use it in the morning or evening, I really enjoyed it. There was no issue with this, no pilling, no nothing. My skin did feel good. It felt soft, it felt moisturized. And I think that, again, I think it was maybe like £2, maybe, or cheaper than that. So yeah, it was a really cheap, affordable product, but I really like this. I used up 2 lip balms. My goal for 2025 was to use up as many lip balms as I could, and I actually got through quite a few. I bought a whole bunch of sets in 2024 from Summer Fridays, not realizing how long these can actually take for you to use. And in actual thing, I should have probably just gotten one set, whether it was a mini or whether it was a full size, or even if I wanted to buy more than one set, I should have stuck to one mini and then one full size. I didn't do that. I bought so many lip balms. I've literally used 3 of these throughout 2025. I love these ones so good. There's just something about these lip balms. One, they're so glossy and they look beautiful, but 2, I find them quite hydrating. I'm trying to avoid buying lip balms because I have so many. I don't really want to have too much. But these ones I can see myself rebuying over and over again. But yeah, I used this one, which is the pink sugar one. Love this. Beautiful, gorgeous. And then this is the brown sugar one. Also, I love the smell of this as well. And it leaves like a very subtle like tint on your lips. So even if you wanted to do this one with makeup, you can. And it will look really lovely with like a good lip liner. Like, yeah, that would be beautiful. But I use up 2 of these. The small ones I can fly through in a couple weeks. The big one, this one took me months. Like, I was using this for months and months and months. And then I got like a massive like air bubble in here like twice, and it was so hard to see how much I had. So every time I thought, oh, I'm almost finished, and the air bubble was about to like leave, I was left with so much. I was like fighting for my life with this one. But I feel like that shows me that it's definitely value for money if I've had this for so many months and I was using it constantly. I still got quite a few of these ones. I think I've got maybe 8 more left of these and 1 more of these ones, which I'm currently using. But yeah, I'd recommend these, and I would honestly buy these ones again. I use up this deodorant. I don't have anything amazing to say about this. It was good. It did its job. Like, that's really all I have to say. I used to have to always buy Mitchum deodorants, but then there was a whole issue with them because they were leaving like a lot of people's like underarms literally like chemically burnt or something like that, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna just not. So I've kind of stopped buying those ones for a while, and I've just been using any sort of random ones I can get. And honestly, this is okay. I have to use it in the summer to see if it's gonna really be worth me using it, but yeah, like, this was not a bad product. If it did the job, and I'm happy with that. I used 3 sunscreens over the month of December. This is the oldest one that I had, and I'd been using this for months and months and months, and this took a long time to finish. But I also really like this one too. This didn't give me any white cast. This is from Isn't True. This is the hyaluronic acid watery sun gel, and this was a really good one as well. And I use a lot of like the Korean sunscreens again, just because I can't use anything that's got chemicals in them because that irritates my eyes really badly, and my eyes are very sensitive. And then again, a lot of sunscreens will give me a white cast as well, so I have to be very careful. But this one I really liked, and this one I can see myself buying again and again. I bought these 2 as a set from Beauty Bay, I want to say, back in like right at the end of December of 2024. I think I did like one last purchase before I walked into 2025, thinking that would help me with my no buy. Spoiler alert, it didn't, but I tried. So I got this as a set. This one I used at first, and I'm not gonna lie, I really like this one. It was so lovely. Like, it stank so beautifully on the skin. My skin looked plump. It looked hydrated. My skin felt really soft. And honestly, because this is a watery sun cream, it's got SPF plus and then PA plus. This was a really nice one, and if I can get a full size of this one, I definitely will. But the twin that I got in it, I did not like as much. This one gave me a white cast, and this is the Vita Tone Up Sun Cream. So I'm assuming how you're supposed to use this is use one first and then top up with this one during the day. I didn't really do that, but I did not like this because this one gave me a pretty big, like, bad white cast. So I would avoid buying this one. If I can, I'll definitely try and repurchase this one again. I haven't really tried much from Tokobo, but this is the first thing I tried from them. I've heard a lot of people really do like their products, and I've recently saw like a bunch of influencers doing, I think, a paid campaign for them. I say recently, but it was probably a couple months ago. But yeah, I really like this sunscreen, and I'm going to add this on my wish list to buy when I need it. Obviously don't need it right now because I have plenty as it is, but this one I really did enjoy, and I would love to try this one in the summer to see how this one is, because where I can get really oily, unfortunately it can start to look really greasy with some sunscreens, and I hate that. So I really want to see if this one works better for me in the summertime. Moving on to hair care, I did use up a lot of products, but there were a lot of like small size products in here. First one I want to talk about is this Arrive. I think that's how you say it. Shampoo and conditioner. So this is the Gold Lust Repair and Restore shampoo conditioner. These definitely lasted me more than 2 uses. I think I got about 4-ish uses out of these, and I really enjoyed using them. This I got as a free set when I bought my Shark hair flexi tool thing from, I think, Cult Beauty, I want to say. And this was like a free little thing. They also gave in a what do you call it, a hair protector, but like for dry hair. So if I'm gonna like straighten my hair, I can use that because obviously my hair's not wet before then. But yeah, I actually really like this. I don't know if I'd repurchase it because I feel like this brand is kind of expensive, but this was probably one of the best high-end shampoos I've tried in a long time. I loved how it made my hair feel. Like, it actually felt soft and hydrated afterwards, and I loved using this combination. I'm kind of sad that I used it up, and I'm sad that it was like a small sample thing. But if I can, I definitely will get the full size when possible. Obviously not right now, because one, I got to focus on clearing off my debts. So it's going to have to be the cheaper shampoos that I'm using. 2, I am trying to stay on my no-buy as long as I can. Obviously it is a replacement only no-buy. But even with that being said, I still want to try and shop as less as possible, like, or as little days as I can. So I feel like if I ever get to, and then because this is something that I just want to try out, it's not like a necessity, it's a want. I don't want to buy it just yet, or at least not until I've cleared off my debt and I've calculated how long it might roughly take me. Hopefully, if I'm sensible, I don't have any bad days, and I don't use makeup shopping, sorry, as a coping mechanism, I may be debt free by the end of October. And I have a very low wage anyway that comes in, so I'm gonna have to be very strict and strategic. So wish me luck, guys. Like, I really want to finally get myself in order and just be better with my money. And once I clear it off, then I can possibly treat myself to these, but it's not something that I'm gonna rush out to. But I really enjoyed these. I also really loved this Kerastars shampoo conditioner. This, I think there's a repair one, and this, oh my god, my hair felt so clean, it felt so soft, it felt so good, it looked hydrated, it just looked so shiny as well. I love these. This I got from the H Beauty Carnival. When you spent, I think it was like £60 in the store on that day, you then got to go and pick out, I think it was like 5 products, and then if you had bought the ticket, so I think you had to pay either £5 or £15, you bought the, I think it's like £5 actually, you got to spin the wheel for like the 6th time, and then if you landed on one of them, you won a prize. And there was like a little tiny like gold one, and if you landed on that, I think you got a Pat McGrath palette, I want to say. But yeah, I picked up these 2 from that like the options that they had, and I loved this so much. Like, generally speaking, my hair looked so good, it felt lush, volume was there, everything. My head, like the way my hair was and how I could style it after I'd used this shampoo and set was so nice. And again, I got like more than, I think I got about 4 uses out of this one too, which is a lot compared to sometimes how many uses I can get, especially because I have to double cleanse with shampoo and stuff like that. So a lot of the times I like fly through shampoo, conditioner will take me a little longer. But yeah, I really like this, I'm not gonna lie. And again, this is something that I would consider repurchasing because of how nice and how good it made my hair feel. Another shampoo I used up was this Way Detox shampoo, and I also love this. I thought that this would be a lot more stripping than it was, and it wasn't. And it really did help my scalp and my hair feel a lot cleaner once I'd use this. And I don't use this once every 2 weeks. I use this quite often, like every like 2nd shower sometimes, maybe like every 3rd shower. And even that, it didn't make my hair feel like stripped of its like moisture or anything like that. In fact, my hair did feel a lot better. And even if you've seen my older videos, you'll know that I always complain I've got like this like dryness behind my sort of ears on my scalp, in that sort of vicinity, and this actually helped me with that too. But I would, at the moment, I have just the cheaper Aveeno apple cider vinegar, which is also kind of like a detoxifying shampoo, probably not to the same extent as this one, but I have that one at the moment. And as much as I would love to buy this, again, because it's more on the expensive side, I don't want to run out and buy it just yet. And this is something that I would probably consider buying once I clear off the majority of my debt, or maybe like when I have completely cleared it off, because then I can see how much budget I have, and according to that I can shop for stuff that I truly want, and I can kind of splurge in that sense. But other than that, I kind of just want to focus on, especially for the first 5 to 6 months, I really just want to focus on like absolute necessities if I have to. And even those add up quite quickly, as we know, like it's expensive to buy any sort of like beauty products. Love this so much, but I am going to just wait to repurchase this one, but definitely try and see if I can buy it later on in the year. I use up this one sort of like serum, and this is the Grow Gorgeous Intense Hair Density Serum for fine thinning hair. To be honest, I feel like when I use this, my hair, I feel like I did actually have hair growth with this, and I don't know if that is just because I stopped using some other products or this actually did work. I used this for several months, and it would be again very much like an on and off thing, but I feel like I have more hair now than I did before, which is nice. But I do really need to get into using some kind of a growth like serum slash oil thing, because I've lost so much hair over the last several years, whether that's due to like illnesses, whether that's due to like low iron, whether that's due to stress, whether that's due to so many of the factors. But there's so many things that have kind of contributed to that, especially like the levels of stress that I've been through. It's just not, it's not nice, and you do lose a lot of confidence. Like you don't realize how much confidence and self-esteem you can lose when you're losing so much hair as well, which is really sad. But I actually really enjoyed this serum. Would I consider buying this again? Yes, I would. Again, it's one of those situations where, because it's more on the pricey side, and I think it costs over double digits, and I think last time I saw this was around the £20 mark. So for something like that, that's more of a splurge for me in the current state, because my main focus is just to sort of clear the debt, and when I do have money left over, to budget that carefully and buy products carefully and make sure that, because I only have £100 for the whole month. That's me going out with any friends, family, that's me shopping for anything that I need or any replacements that I might need. So that's not really that much. It can go like it can fly very fast. So yeah, this is something that I probably wouldn't buy just yet, but probably would, considering like towards like the end of the year, like between October to December. The last hair product, well, this isn't even a hair product, but I used it in my hair in the end. So this is from the brand called 17, and I think they're like the sister or like the child, basically the child version of Number 17, but that's like a Boots product brand anyway. So we've got number 7, and then you got 17, which is for like young, I want to say like for preteens, teens going into makeup, because it's very like soft, subtle sort of makeup that they have, and they have like a very like small collection really. So I got this one initially because it said it's Brow Plus Lash Lamination Clear Mascara, but it did nothing for my, it did absolutely nothing for my lashes at all, like nothing at all. I struggle with mascara anyway because of like I've picked off a lot of my lashes from this eye, so as the lashes have grown out, they're very like stubborn, and it's almost impossible to get the volume with this side of my eye. But with this eye, like you can still kind of tell that I've been wearing mascara. This did nothing for either lash, and this one I wasn't surprised about, but this one, when it did absolutely nothing for this eye, I was like, yeah, no, this is not gonna work for me as mascara. I then tried to use it on my lashes, and honestly, my lashes would keep falling down, and I want something that can hold them up for a lot longer. So then I decided to just use it as my like, whenever I had flyaways, and I do get that quite often, especially if I put my hair up. So what I literally would just do is take this and brush back any like flyaways that I had, and honestly, it did a pretty good job of holding them down. And I used to use this along with some hairspray, and honestly it worked really well. Would I buy this again? Probably would, honestly, but just more of a thing for like my flyaways, because this was an easy product to use in that sense. And I honestly, majority of the use I got from this was through that way, and it actually did the job that I needed it to do for my hair. It just didn't do it for my lashes or my brows though. And I think this only cost me like maybe £2 or £3. So again, for like a pretty cheap product, I don't mind spending on this to help me do something else that I need to do. And this is like one of those products that if it doesn't work for you the way it's meant to, you can try and find another way for it to work. And I was like racking my brain thinking, how else can I use this up because it's not going to work? And literally I just took it and I was like, yeah. And I think I was going out that day as well, and my hair just wouldn't sit down, so I used this one instead, and it worked well for me. So yeah, if you have something that doesn't necessarily work, like a clear mascara or clear brow gel that you don't like, try using on your hair instead to tame your flyaways. It does the job. Moving on to perfumes, I have 3 Empties. I'm so happy about that. The first one is this Glossier You sample. I got a set of 4 to try. I've got all 4 of the scents to use. I've just used up this one, but I've already got like a perfume of this one. I kind of knew what the scent would be like, but my perfume is now kind of old, and I think my friend got it for me either in 2023 or 2024 as like a birthday gift, so I've had it for a long time. The longer you have it, the more sort of spicier it becomes. It becomes more peppery. So just keep that in mind if you are thinking of buying the Glossier perfume, and the smell will change. When it initially changed for me, I would thought my perfume had expired, but then I was like, it doesn't smell awful, it just smells a bit different. And then the more I used it, and I was like, okay, no, I still like the smell, and I continue using it. But when I used the perfume the other day, I couldn't actually smell it. And I don't know if that's just because my nose has been blocked and stuffy, and how much like I've blown my nose. I've probably like done some kind of damage there. But this, when I used it, it was really nice. So this was kind of one of those situations where I smelled what a brand new you would smell like, and I kind of want it. But before I can do that, I want to use up the one that I have at the moment and go through some more perfumes. But I really like the Glossier scents. Like, they are really nice. I've tried also the purple one, which I think is like the plummy one, and that was really nice too. But I really like this one, and I can't wait to try some of the other samples for the other ones too. Use up this Ritual perfume. I think this is part of the Ritual of Gin collection, and this was also a really nice perfume. I did actually really like this one. Would I necessarily buy this one again? I don't really know. At the start, I really loved this, but the more I sort of used it, I kind of just got bored of it, if I'm being honest. So I ended up using it as a mix of on myself, but then also like as like a room fragrance, and sort of on my like bed, or well, actually mainly my bed. I know they also have like actual like room spray fragrances if I really wanted to. But again, it's not something that I'm going to run out and buy just yet. It's more of a, like, if I have disposable income, I can then treat myself to those types of products. So I used it up. Would I consider buying this one again? At this moment, I don't think so. I think at the moment, one, I'm content with the amount of perfumes that I have. Two, it wasn't something that I can say, like, I absolutely love, that I really want to go out and buy again. But it was definitely a scent that I did try and I did enjoy using. And if I ever do get to the point that I do want to buy it again, I probably will, but I don't think that'll be anytime soon, if I'm being honest. The last perfume I used up was this one from Kayali. This is the Maui in a bottle, which is a sweet banana scent. And I don't think I'm going to be buying this one again. I used up 3 of these sort of like summery scents that she released, I want to say back in 2024. But of the 3, I only like I think it's the blue one, which is the Marrakesh in a bottle, I want to say. Or the Maldives in a bottle. And I could be completely wrong, but it's one of those, but it's the blue bottle one. That one, of the 4, smells the best to me. Initially, I was thinking about repurchasing this one, but I've changed my mind on that, just because I think with my perfume collection, I still would prefer to have it a bit more curated, and I would want certain types of smells, or like be able to like mix and match stuff that I've truly loved. This was one of those that I didn't like truly love. It was an okay smell. If I've got NPR, would I use this? Absolutely. Do I necessarily want to go back and spend my money on this perfume? No, because I'd rather repurchase some of the other Kayali scents, if I'm being honest. Like, again, it was okay. I think this could be sent for someone. It just wasn't it for me personally. Like, it wasn't terrible by any means. It was still nice. It was like a sort of like sweet-ish sort of perfume. The thing is, my nose is blocked, so I can't even tell you what this sort of reminded me of, and I can't even remember because I used it so long ago in December, and I have like pretty bad memory as it is, so I couldn't really kind of give you an honest opinion on that one. But again, like, it wasn't a bad product. I did like it. I just don't see myself going out to buy this one again, honestly. Now finally onto my makeup products. The first thing I'm going to call it empty is this freaking makeup brush. This is from Spectrum. It's the 801, and the reason I'm calling this empty is because it's so big, and I've gotten to the point, it's just getting really frustrating trying to use this one as like a brush for my powder. And I'm going to call it an empty. Also, some of the hair bristles are like flying off as well, and I don't necessarily like this brush. I don't remember exactly what my issue was when I decided to call it an empty, because I think something led to me having called this an empty, but it got to a certain point of me getting frustrated with this brush. And I think that has to do with 2 things. One, I think this caused my product to get hard pan. 2, I find it really difficult to clean this brush. And 3, it's so giant, so when I try to like swirl it in, it doesn't really pick up product, and it only picks up on one side rather than the entire like part here. Even though I kind of like swirl the product like this, it only tends to pick it up like this. You can kind of like see it there as well. It's more stained on the sides than it sort of is here. And the product, because the product doesn't really sit properly here, it just sits here, it's really hard, because then I have to like put the product on like this, and it just gets really annoying. So yeah, I'm going to call this one an empty. I don't even want to give it to this. I don't even want to give this to anyone. I'm just going to fucking chuck it, because it was just frustrating to use, and I don't think anyone needs to use a product that's going to be frustrating to use. I used up these 2 lip glosses, and I'm so glad I did. I hated both of these in the end. So these are both from Lottie London, and they're so messy and leaky, and just it's just shit quality. Like, I know these were cheap, but like, if you're gonna release a product, at least try to release something that's not that terrible. So this one was definitely better of the two, and this one does give like a nice like bitten sort of lip look. This was the collection or collab that they did with Vampire Diaries. Honestly, it was such a flop. But yeah, I don't even know why I got this. Like, I had such a big like FOMO thing, and then I thought, oh, maybe, just maybe, if I got around to doing a review of these, the brand might like, who cares? Who cares? If I'm gonna pick something up to buy, let it be something that I actually want in my collection, rather than, oh, maybe I could stick a, the brand don't give a shit about people like me. And I think most of the people that they were posting anyway were like pretty much like people who did not look like me at all. So if a brand is gonna be posting a very specific demographic of people, why would I now want to spend my money in a brand who clearly does not give a shite about me? Do you know what I mean? I feel like I've really like learned and unlearned a lot of stuff over the last couple of months, and yeah, that was enough for me. I still have a few other things. I mean, the brand I don't even think exists anymore. Like, the site shut down. I haven't really gone on the social medias, but I think from what I can see, like, there's no like products left for them in most places. But yeah, I actually preferred this one over this one. This had like a dark, really like dark bluey purpley sort of color in here. That was not really nice. This one was a better one, and it gave a really nice sort of like similar look to some of my nail polish on the lips, but it looked really well done. But it was messy, it was leaky product, so I'm so glad that I'm done with both of them. I used up this glow filter from Beauty Bay, and I'm not gonna lie, I actually really like this product. This is like another one of the Charlotte Tilbury like esque type of products. Everyone is doing glow filter now, and I'm not gonna lie, for the price of this, I definitely would buy this one again. I know Elf has a really similar one, but I think theirs now cost like 18 or 20 pounds, and I'm no longer buying from Elf because screw that. Honestly, the things that I'm not even gonna get into that. Yeah, this I actually really liked, but towards the end it did start to break me out because I think it was a kind of an old product, and it was probably also on the slightly older side by the time I got it, because when I got this was on sale, and I think I got this for like £3 or £4. That's very cheap, and I think that is because it started to get on the older side. And I got this right at the end of 2024. I think just before we walked into 25, I did like one last purchase, and this I think was one of the items from it, as well as this sort of Beauty Bay brow soap situation. I'm gonna think about buying this one again. Obviously not right now because I have enough other primers and other like foundations that I don't feel I need this right away, but it was a really good like glowy product. I actually used this quite a few times without wearing any foundation, and to be honest, the way I ended up using this up was as if this was a foundation product. So I would do this and then go in, and I wouldn't use another foundation on top of this, and then just do the rest of my makeup. And honestly, it gave a very nice sort of like, your natural skin is sort of there, your texture is sort of there, but it sat nicely on the skin. There's not like coverage in here, but it does give like a nice glowy look. And because it's a shade 2, it did have like a very light bit of colour. It doesn't give you coverage. It didn't cover any of my like scarring or like pigmentation or anything like that. So you can still kind of see all of that stuff. But I kind of like that about this foundation or like glow filter / primer situation, because it looked a bit more like naturally type of makeup, and I had a lot of fun with this. It was just a shame that towards the end this product did expire on me and my skin was breaking out, and I didn't realize that at the time that it was to do with this product. But I can see myself picking this up again. Obviously not right now because I have like 3 other foundations and I have plenty of other primers, so I wouldn't have any use for it. But over the summer I did get quite a lot of use out of this, and even like over the last several months as well. Really loved this product, I can't even lie. Couldn't really felt this, if I'm being honest. Another product from Beauty Bay was this brush up brow soap thing, and this I got the same time as that one. I think maybe like 1 or 2 other products, and this wasn't too bad, but I don't like this brow soap, and I don't like anything that you have to like wet before using, and this is one of those situations. I would rather just have like a gel product, because that's easier to use and kind of like maneuver. This one towards the end as well, it got very difficult to use, and I did not like that. Obviously it is a cheap product, so not complaining in that sense. I think I got this in the end for like £2.50 or £3. Again, very cheap as a makeup product, and quite a steal if I'm being honest. But I just don't like a brow sort of soap that I have to like wet before using. I would prefer a brow gel. Today I'm using a brow gel. I'm so happy I'm using a brow gel again because it's been a while since I've sort of done that. But I really love, and I kind of want to go back to using the ABH Brow Freeze, but it is an expensive product, and I don't really know if I want to buy something that expensive, but that does have the best hold to it. So yeah, I am thinking about that one again. But I did at least have fun using this, and I'm glad I got to use a lot of this for the last several months of 2025 without having to buy anything new. I use up this Fenty mascara. This is the hella thick one, and this I got in, I want to say, like either Cult Beauty or Look Fantastic, one of the beauty boxes that I bought from them. And this wasn't a bad mascara actually. I did quite like using this one. I just don't like a mini mascara because sometimes it can be really difficult to sort of like, because the wand is so tiny to, and so is the part that you hold on to like then do your mascara. But I'm not gonna lie, I actually did really like this, and this did sort of work on this eye as well, which was kind of nice to see. Wouldn't necessarily go out and buy this one again, not particularly, because I think I have other sort of like cheaper alternatives that I have found that work really well, like the Soap and Glory mascara, and that one is, I think it's like £10 around that price, and sometimes you can buy it for like slightly cheaper as well. So I'd probably like stick to some more drugstore brands, but this was actually not a bad mascara, and I did really like this one, and I could potentially buy this one again if I have the disposable income for it later on in the year. But I do have 5 other mascaras, one I'm currently using, and then 4 backups. So realistically, do I need another mascara anytime soon, especially for this year? I don't really think so. But I can definitely add this to my wish list and then consider it maybe for 2027 if I really sort of feel like treating myself to something high end. But yeah, it's not something that I'm gonna rush out to buy anytime soon. And the last product that I used up was this pair of lashes. I've been using these for bloody months, and I've actually gotten like so much use out of these. I think I got maybe about 4, 5 uses out of these, maybe even more than that actually. I started using these for my cousin's wedding initially, and I used this for 2 of his wedding functions, and I used another lash set on 2 different days. So he had quite a few days. So the main 4 that the main 4 of the events that he had, I used this twice, on 2 different days. And honestly, it's a really nice sort of like look. And then I use it quite a few times anyway when I was doing other makeup looks, just like here and there. And I think I had maybe one other wedding that I went to that I did use these lashes for. Um, and I want to say I did get a good like through between 4 to 6 uses out of these lashes, which is probably the most I've ever done with any set of lashes. And honestly, that's more than enough for me. And I'm going to just call it quits with this one. And this is definitely an empty for me. I actually really do like some of the Swede products that they have. They are really good. So would I necessarily consider buying a set of lashes again? No, because you can buy much cheaper alternatives. But I can definitely see myself trying something else from the brand later on down the line. When I have the disposable income for it. But that's all my December empties. There's quite a few, and I'm happy to have these all out. And especially when it comes to some of the makeup products, because honestly, it did not really have a good year in terms of makeup usage because I was sick for most of the year, like how you're hearing me now. Um, Honestly, if it wasn't like me physically being ill, it was me being mentally really ill. So it was just hard to sort of balance it all out. And I didn't really get much use with my makeup products, especially not for the first half of it, unless I was going to weddings and other sort of main events like this. But it was definitely from like July onwards when I got the majority use out of my collection, unfortunately. And yeah, I'm happy that I got some more makeup empties by the end of 2025.